Clickety clack, we're back on the track. It's been a few weeks, but we're back. I'm Eve Miss Orion, and I'm a Schmo.
And I'm Cairo, and I'm also a Schmo.
And welcome to the Two Schmoes Show, the only show on the internet where I have no tagline for whatever the fuck I was about to say. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I want to point out before I forget, it is extremely funny. We've been touching at the audio stuff and like Discord troubleshooting for a little while here, and we got everything dialed in. And as soon as you said ready and you said 3, Discord immediately started losing signal strength.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's like
it's back now, but the timing was perfect.
It's really upsetting me
good.
a little bit. Like,
It's been a while. There's been it's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been so busy. I am so tired. Do you know what I hate though? I don't know if this is just like the magic of being an adult at a certain point, or like the science on hormones and therapies and what they like actually have the potential to do for people is so understandably to a degree understudied, but the anecdotal side of it is so broad. It's like, you know, when you hear like the crackpot windmills give you cancer kind of side effects type lists.
Yeah.
If you spend more than a few minutes in any of the transgender subreddits, you'll pick up on like people attributing basically everything and anything changing in their health and their life to them starting or stopping hormones or changing a dose or missing a dose, on and on and on. So it's really hard sometimes to cut through the noise of like what is the brain chemistry that's actually happening here in a way that is cause and effect. But it has been really annoying having my sleep schedule actually get kind of regular lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've been a sleep in until like 10 a.m. kind of person basically my whole life.
Yeah.
Until about a month ago, and I started waking up at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it just kept happening, and I don't know why. And it's really annoying.
I have that same problem, but I call that my job. Hey, having to wake up early.
I was lucky enough to be able to negotiate my hours so that I don't have to go into work until like 11 if there's not like a super urgent thing. And okay. I would take very full advantage of that for years. And now I'm on time every day.
So what have we missed? I feel like we haven't missed much. It's been like a boring ass early summer. Yeah. Yeah.
So the main thing that I want to start off on, because I feel like the biggest thing that has been like happening right now has been the will they won't they of obviously the Strait of Hormuz, whether there's a ceasefire in effect at all, and what does that actually mean for the U.S. and Iran, and in particular, how is that? How is I say? Because it's not impacting Israel unless they choose to, and boy, are they choosing to make it be a problem for them. So right now, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. We're on week 9 of the war being almost over and a deal being just around the corner. It's literally been clockwork at this point, and I'm not going to complain about gas prices going down too much, but it is very frustrating that nothing has changed, and yet there we are. Though I do wonder. Yeah. We talked about very briefly of quite a while ago now, the idea that like when gas prices go up, they hit a point where people can't afford it, and then demand plummets, and then gas prices inversely, like counterintuitively, go down because the demand drops. And I wonder if we're at that point. I don't think we are, but I'll be frank. I left last week Wednesday, and gas was $4.80. And I got back this week Tuesday, and gas was $4.20, and nothing happened. Nothing improved. There's not ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. In fact, there's actually been little skirmishes that have been happening since then. So it's just like, what happened to cause that? And I have not been able to figure out like a real reason other than just people in like the financial sector just deciding that that's going to happen now.
I got nothing for you. I'm a lowly
It's very
PI.
weird. Yeah. So, anyways, to all that point, there's obviously constant ongoing talk of, you know, a ceasefire. Apparently, there's been a ceasefire that's been extended for something like 60 or 90 days, something like that. It's all fake. None of it's actually real. So it doesn't like it actually matters until there's signatures on a piece of paper, which there has never been yet because all of these people suck at their jobs. But I do find it fascinating as kind of a bellwether for how far this deal actually might be to see how Israel is responding. And this week, Israel decided to invade further into Lebanon than they ever have before and ordered their army to seize, quote, 70% of Gaza Strip.
Can I just like look at the camera real quick? Like play the Curb Your Enthusiasm music real quick?
Yeah, go for it. I'll wait.
What the fuck? You ever feel like we're just the asshole?
Yeah, the one thing that we can always rely on Netanyahu to do is to completely overreact militarily whenever his authority is even suggested to be threatened. So the fact that they're throwing this fit and, you know, killing dozens and hundreds of people, it seems like a sign that maybe something is actually happening. But at the same time, because this has gone on for so long, the Israeli government and military has kind of self-selected for some of the worst people that you could imagine. And they just want to do this, right? It's like what we talked about at the start of the Iran war, is that there's all these reasons that people are going to say for why we want to do this with the nukes stuff or the whatever other thing. But at the end of the day, you still have people like Lindsey Graham who have been in Congress for what, 40 years, however long it is, that just have wanted to invade Iran the whole time because they have a grudge from the 70s. And likewise, you have people in Israel and their military and their government who have wanted to seize the Gaza Strip because they believe it's their right for decades. And this just as well could be those people deciding to exert their will. So
I just feel like we are so used in this situation.
I have been back on some of my usual bullshit. I was re-listening to the Flowbots album, Fight with Tools, and it is insane how topical some of those songs are for a 17-year-old album. Like, to the letter of the government repeating the same stuff that they did in Iraq, doing it now in Iran, and allowing it to happen in Gaza.
Well, okay, let's be a little blunt here, right? The people in charge have no original ideas. Did you expect them to do anything different?
That's very true. I don't know. I honestly kind of did. I expected on like day 3 or 4, they would do a 180 and be like, we killed their awful, evil leader. We did the job. Now it's up to the people of Iran to take back their country. Because that was always the verbiage, right? Yeah. Is that they're going to give them a chance to take back their country. And if that was all you wanted to do is just kill the Ayatollah, you did that, to their credit that they don't deserve, very quickly. Very successfully. And then they just didn't leave. If they just done that and then left, and you don't even have to like, just talking tactics here, right? I'm not saying I would support this. I would not support this. But if you're going to do this shit, you do it, you do the thing, you leave, you give it a chance to see what happens. And then when that obvious power vacuum is filled by the exact same kind of people, then you launch into phase 2 or whatever. You don't do this shit that stops the Strait of Hormuz from having anything work. And now, I don't know, it feels like we've already lost this, not a war, just on the virtue of having to shift our goals so much to just trying to reestablish even a semblance of the status quo.
But why did we do this in the beginning? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah. I would love to know that. We're gonna get like zero dark 30 equivalent in like 15 or 20 years that'll actually break down why this happened. But maybe we won't. Maybe it will just turn out that we just have the stupidest, most impulsive, warmongering people in office that we have had in a very long time, and they just wanted to do it because they're bullies and they think they can get away with it.
Hell yeah! I mean, wait. This is so sad.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. On the other side of that, back home here, reporting came out from Wall Street Journal, I want to say. That may be wrong on that. But talking about credit card delinquency. And that currently delinquent credit card balances hit 13%, the highest in the last 15 years. And there's all these metrics talking about how people are, taking out credit more and more to pay for, essentials, food, rent, transportation, and how credit card debt is going up and up and up, along with all other kinds of debt. And it's just such a contrast of how different everything is depending on what class you're in, right?
Yeah. So I'm hearing you say, right? Cairo, my friend, the Ayatollah did this.
Yeah. The thing that I saw come up on the the Sunday news shows today that was like, I don't get how Hassett still has a job. He's like Secretary of Interior kind of thing.
Okay.
What is your job? Kevin Hassett is the director of the National Economic Council. So there you go. Gigantic, sycophantic piece of shit. And he keeps going on these news shows and doing the worst possible job that I feel like somebody could do because he doesn't even know where to lie correctly. He's on Fox News today, gets asked, the Journal says percentage of delinquent credit card balances is 13%, highest in 15 years. People are using them for necessities. Your message to them, Hassett, quote, we talk to CEOs of the credit card companies all the time, and there's not any threat to them. People are taking a bit longer.
So isn't the point of like profits from credit cards that if they take longer, there is profits for a CEO?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I can't help but notice a power imbalance there.
Yeah. And it's crazy because Hassett does this like once a week, at least. He'll go on Fox or he'll go on NBC and he'll just say the most pro CEO capitalist anti-consumer thing ever, where he'll like look at our inflation rates are up over last year and at the highest so far this year, and people are saying that they don't feel like they have enough money, and then he'll just be like, no, consumer sentiment is very strong, while he's staring at the chart that shows consumer sentiment being in the absolute gutter. It's so brazen.
You ever like read a history book and think about like those poor saps and like how they led to like the Depression and then like all the shit before like the New Deal happened, and you just wonder like, oh yeah, the New Deal sounds great, how the hell did you have to get so bad that you need the New Deal? And then you like look out your window and notice what's going on today.
Yeah absolutely. I saw talked about in regard to the credit card rates as well, a reminder that on January 9th of this year, our president said that by executive order, credit card rates would be capped at 10%. And then nothing happened, especially not credit card rates being capped at 10%, because would you know, that's not something the president can do.
Well, he can cap fucking gas prices, right?
Apparently not. Sure sounded like it in Biden, though. People were real loud about that.
Then what's the point of the president if you can't control the gas prices?
I will say a very local bellwether that I find fascinating is the prevalence and now lack thereof of MAGA paraphernalia.
You noticed that too, haven't you?
I absolutely do. There's a person whose house I had driven past every day for the last 7 years on my way to work, multiple times a week, and like clockwork, they will have at least one, usually more than one, flag on their garage that is some flavor of fuck Biden, I want to suck Trump off every day, the usual fare. For the first time in 7 years, they did not have a flag flying this week.
Really?
Yeah.
For me, like, I've seen like flags and outdoor shit, but I've not been out in public and saw a MAGA hat in like a long time.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
that's the part where I started realizing something was wrong.
The other one that I picked up, this is a little while now, but there was a person who likewise had like a roadside sign that they'd had forever, and around the 2020 election they put up a big MAGA banner on it, and it would be all shiny and nice. They'd replace it every once in a while, and then slowly over time they just stopped touching it, and it got shredded and eventually just sort of like turned to dust.
Same. They're cheap.
So yeah, it's been fascinating to see that element, and that shows up in approval ratings. Let's do a quick check.
I think really the last breath for like MAGA was the culture war loss over Charlie Kirk. That should have been a slam dunk.
Isn't it crazy that they tried to do that again with Trump, and it just didn't work?
Yeah,
people just didn't care. So let's see here. President job approval. Pull up a couple of these. Right now, this average has a 40% approval, 57.8% disapproval. We've got, I don't know what that is, but that's not approval ratings. New York Times has their aggregate at 38% approval, so 2% lower. Nate Silver, you're pretty typical for this kind of stuff. What do you have? Updated May 31. They have him at minus 19, which pretty much lines up with the New York Times reporting. 48% of Americans strongly disapprove of Trump's job performance. Only 21.7% strongly approve of what he's doing.
Is this why Peter Thiel left the country?
I think it probably is. It's great.
Can we just bring attention to that? Peter fucking Thiel, who's probably listening to this podcast right now. Hi, Peter.
Hey, Peter. Long-time listener.
Long-time listener. Right. Yeah. Let me put my phone a little bit closer to my mouth so you can hear me better. He left the country for Argentina, which is wild. Because, like, Peter Thiel isn't, like, a big figure in, like, all this MAGA bullshit, but he's, like, very prominent.
It's weird. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Really good video I watched recently that was actually talking about the tech accelerationist movement that's been going on for a while now. Was it Avila? It was Avila. Alexander Avila. Great video called "The Tech Billionaire to Fascist Pipeline." That is, long, right? This is YouTube video essay kind of stuff, and it's a year old already, but does a really excellent job pointing out all of the things that we've been seeing for the last couple of years that's kind of obvious about the way that these tech billionaires are going so fascist, and does a really good job of talking about that political element of it and why it changed from tech being a relatively liberal thing to tech being a very not liberal thing that it is now.
Yeah.
it's been a fascinating, kind of terrifying thing to see, where you have like calling them religions, I feel like gives them too much legitimacy, but certainly
kick them out.
Cults developing around ideas of like, what if we make a robot so good that it just solves all of humanity's problems by divine act, and the only way that we can do that will be by rushing through regardless of the cost today. It's kind of scary.
I don't think of it as like rushing to a goal as much as it's just like just capitalistic. Meets the bottom line. We have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. I genuinely don't think they have a goal.
I don't think that they have a strict goal either, but there is definitely a fairly widespread belief that amongst these tech people that have fully drunk this Kool-Aid, where they are convinced at some point in the future, eventually, like as a philosophical thing, someone will make a robot that is hyper intelligent, more intelligent than a human, and at the point that that happens, that robot will seek retribution to all of the people who did not assist in its development and give favor to the people who did assist in its creation. And they are both aligning their current actions to stay in that hypothetical god robot's favor, and then also trying to go as fast as they can to make that. Like when they say AGI, artificial general intelligence, that's what they mean.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is. But a weirdly large number of them seem to earnestly believe it. And that's kind of scary.
It's the ketamine.
Because they have a lot of money.
It's the ketamine, though. It's the ketamine talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they say AGI, they're actually talking about AGI Argentina?
That seems to be the case for one. And I won't be surprised if more follow.
Okay, should we play like a bingo game of which tech billionaire leaves the country next?
Which one? I mean, it feels a little bit like cheating because it's obviously Elon.
Yeah, it's Elon.
He has the double whammy of both being deeply unpopular in general, but also being deeply unpopular with the current administration.
I was thinking actually, I think Peter Thiel is leaving because he knows midterms are going to go bad.
I don't. Well, so how much have you watched and read about Peter Thiel specifically?
All I know, for my own mental health, right?
Yeah,
I only know he's obsessed with the Antichrist, and he's obsessed with. I don't think he's like. No, I think obsession's the wrong word here. He has an unhealthy desire to monitor catalog in that. Like he's got like an obsessive compulsive disorder.
I would call it obsessive.
Okay.
I think it's the kind of figure where the more that you learn about him and his beliefs, it becomes really, really obvious that he is deeply mentally unwell.
Yes.
Do you remember when Conway went like all full Hitler?
Yeah.
Thiel is in his Hitler Kanye arc right now, except instead of Hitler, it's fascism and the Antichrist, and we need to build the God robot, and all of this kind of shit. Like that's my read on it. The guy is clearly not well and is not surrounded by people who want to have that change for him because it financially benefits them to have this billionaire bankrolling like JD Vance's hypothetical 2028 presidential bid, right?
Yeah, it wasn't Teal like his fucking mentor as well.
He still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of wild to leave the country when your fucking mentee might be president.
Mm-hmm. Real strong show of support, that.
Really, it is. Peter, I know you're listening. If you would like to come on the show and defend JD as president, quietly go fuck yourself.
Speaking of people going and fucking themselves, I want to do a quick roundup here of all of the really, really, really stupid things that the current administration is trying to do and how all of them are failing in really funny ways.
Okay.
I want to start with my personal favorite. We had an announcement this week. This is just like a little treat for me because this was right after I'd gotten back. I had like a half a day off still after traveling, so I was starting to get caught up on everything. And then this pops up. It's just, it's delicious. The Trump administration has decided that in order to punish places that are not cooperating with ICE in their illegal immigration deportation schemes, sanctuary cities that is, that the US government is just not going to allow international flights to land at those locations. Like Chicago and LA and New York.
Cairo. Please forgive me if I'm wrong about this, but I think that's like our 3 biggest cities.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
as part of this, they targeted a total of 7 of the 10 largest international flight airports. Boston, Chicago, Denver, LA, New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco. All of those airports apparently handle... I know. All of those airports apparently handle more than 1,000 international flights daily. And they are claiming that that's just going to stop. And those planes are going to go to red states and cities.
Bullshit.
It's really funny and really dumb because that's not why international flights are there. It's like, okay, I work in New York. So yeah, I'm going to take flights from New York. Why would somebody... Where is... I don't even know how the hell I would look this up that quickly. I would be fascinated to find out where the closest major airport to the city of New York is that does cross-Atlantic international flights.
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia is also on this list.
Fuck.
Philadelphia, because that's the thing, right? Philadelphia, Boston, those are like the 2 big ones relatively near New York that you would think like, oh yeah, if you can't go out of JFK, go out of there. What the hell else is there? You have to go to like, I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh is a part of this too, so that doesn't work.
I think Canada.
You could go to Canada, but that wouldn't be... I mean, I guess it would be Washington, D.C.
Fuck.
That would probably be it. What you're looking at, like Washington, D.C., somewhere in Ohio, but that's too far away from the coast. Even Washington, that's like another... What, is that 200 miles? 100 miles? It's not close to New York is my point. And when you're talking transatlantic, that all adds up. So yeah, it's very dumb. And as many people have pointed out, this isn't going to happen because it is just that dumb. But it really shows the just sheer desperation that's going around right now. That this is even something that's being considered seemingly seriously. Especially on the verge of the fucking FIFA World Cup.
I think they might revoke his Peace Prize at this point.
If they did that, I bet they would.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. I hope that happens someday because it would just be the funniest thing possible. A close second to that, though, is basically everybody canceling the Freedom 250 concert.
Except our boy, the one who stays.
I think there technically might be two.
Oh.
I have actually tried to look into this some, so let's run through this. A couple of weeks ago, I want to say. Was this really on just May 27th that this was announced? I could have sworn that there was something earlier than then, but maybe it wasn't. This is according to some website. Apparently on May 27th, the headline performers of the Freedom 250 celebration were announced, and it was a bit surprising because some of them are like big names like Martina McBride, Bret Michaels, and it's been extremely funny over the next couple days seeing how nearly every single one of them announces that they are canceling or that they were basically lied to about the nature of the event, or that they were never contacted about this at all, and all that they can figure is that it's actually a cover band of some sort that's playing, not them. So would you like to go through the list?
Yes.
Bret Michaels. When this opportunity was presented to my team, described as a celebration of the country through music and a chance to honor our veterans, etc., etc., etc. Unfortunately, what was presented to us as a celebration of our country has evolved into something much more divisive than what I agreed to be a part of. Concerns have been raised regarding the safety of my fans, band, crew, family, and myself, including threats that are completely unfounded and unforgivable. So, Bret Michaels out. Milli Vanilli. This one is a weird one. Apparently, the actual members of the original group, Milli Vanilli, were never contacted.
What?
And it was, who was this? I'm just going to read through this. The surviving member of the original duo, Fab Morvan, was revealed to not have sung any of the group's Grammy-winning work alongside Rob Pilatus. Shared in a statement, "I'm here to entertain and unite people. Let's celebrate life and music. I feel honored to be a part of the Great American State Fair." And then in a separate press release, the actual people who do the music for Milli Vanilli, Jody Rocco, Linda Rocco, Brad Howell, John Davis, and Charles Shaw, who are now branding themselves the real Milli Vanilli, stated that they will not be performing. Quote, "Others using the name Milli Vanilli that appear on the advertisement should be considered a tribute band with no association vocally or musically to our sound or songs."
Jesus.
Martina McBride. "I was presented with an opportunity to perform at a nonpartisan event, but that turned out to be misleading. I asked a lot of questions and was assured this was a nonpartisan event that was meant to celebrate all 50 states. In my mind, I thought this was a great way to celebrate the states and also bring people together in a way that only music can. I've been blessed with the opportunity to be a voice for those who have felt like they didn't have one. It greatly upsets me that any fan who may have been moved by my music may now feel like I'm abandoning the meaning behind those songs. I assure you, that is not the case. I appreciate every single fan who has reached out." Morris Day and the Time. Quote, "Contrary to rumor, Morris Day and the Time will not be performing at the Great American State Fair." Adding a quote, "It's a no for me." There's a couple of these like that. This next one from Young MC is really funny as well, where you can clearly tell it's like these people's agents did this and just didn't really tell them the details of it. So Young MC posted on Facebook, quote, "I have all caps, I have informed my agents that I will not be performing at the Freedom 250 event. The artists were never told about any political involvement with the event. Despite claims by the organizers that the event is nonpartisan, Spin Magazine describes it as Trump-backed. I hope to perform in DC in the near future at an event that is not so politically charged." The Commodores took their social media page, stated, quote, "The Commodores will not be performing at the Great American State Fair. Our music has always been our voice, and we choose not to publicly affiliate with any single political party." So the current slate is Flo Rida and Vanilla Ice, who have neither of them released any statement. No, I mean, Flo Rida has not released a statement. I think Vanilla Ice is just like, yeah, let's do this, because he's weird like that, apparently. Leaving CNC Music Factory, which has also basically been proven to be kind of a sham as well, because it's the same thing as the Milli Vanilli thing, where it's like not the actual group. It's like part of the original group, and the other parts of the group are very upset with what's going on.
I would be too.
Yep. So good stuff. Very funny. Can't wait for the next one. In the wake of all of this, Trump put out a social media post calling for Freedom 250 to be canceled. We should have a giant Make America Great Again rally for 250 instead of having overpriced singers, says the president.
You think it hurt his feelings?
It's so funny. He's such a toddler. No one wants to play with me? Fine, I'll do it myself.
I'm a little sad for him. Like, genuinely.
It's so pathetic, especially in the context of all of this, right? The White House reached out to these people to coordinate this. They reached out to them, and then he goes and throws a tantrum. Instead of having overpriced singers who nobody wants to hear, whose music is boring, and they do nothing but complain. It's like, come, just stop.
Like, I get being hurt, bro. I really do. But at the same time, like, you made your own cage. Sit in it.
Yeah, it's so pathetic.
Yeah. Like, bro, you made a whole political career of bashing people who don't work with you on your terms. And when you start asking people to work with you and you can't meet them on their fucking terms, don't be fucking surprised.
Mm-hmm.
This is toddler shit.
It really is. We also got news this week that Trump's name needs to be removed from the Kennedy Center. Ooh. Federal judge saying that only Congress can rename it. What was it? The Kennedy Center. What was this? Yeah, the Kennedy Center's organic statue makes crystal clear that the center is to be named for President Kennedy, and it cannot bear any other formal name or public memorial based on the board's unilateral say-so. Congress gave the Kennedy Center its name, and only Congress can change it.
Yeah, I get the impression that that judge was looking forward to that dunk. Yeah,
it is absolutely the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
I did see a story pop up. Trump lashes out at Judge. What did he say? Called him an anti-Trump hater.
This got to be good for his fucking heart, right?
I sure hope so. It's all dumb. Apparently, one of the arguments that they tried to make in this was that the Kennedy Center is losing so much money that they had to do this or it would have closed already. And it's just obviously not true, because as soon as they tried to do this, basically every act who was scheduled canceled it and said no. It's really sad.
It's losing so much money, so we thought we'd kill it a little faster.
Yeah. It's losing so much money, so we tried to kill it faster, and then also after we killed it, we decided it's going to have to close for 2 years to be renovated, because that's the problem.
I really look forward to whoever's next president having to put up with all these renovations that aren't going to be finished in time.
It's really going to be dumb.
These are our tax dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down the drain.
Everybody, think about that real quick, right? When you see the UFC fucking stadium built in front of the White House next to like the pile of rubble that I'm assuming all the losers are going to be thrown into, and then they're going to be buried under the ballroom because that's how warrior culture works, right? This is our tax dollars.
In the next funny news, the UFC White House thing is going great.
Is it?
Turns out there's a reason people don't do fighting events outdoors. Uh, apparently, even Dana White said it. He's terrified of doing outdoor MMA events, which is why they don't have them in Hawaii, even because the weather is a problem. Unique to DC though, because it's gonna be it's summer. It's relatively mild, except they're expecting that there's gonna be problems with bugs, with gnats flying around and just making the event miserable for everybody who needs to be outside watching it.
I really
including the fighters.
I was really hoping the gnats would bother Donnie.
That'll be pretty great. He can do the same thing that he does at basically every sporting event and leave early.
He can't leave early. He's at the fucking White House. What's he gonna do? Go to bed and see the lights outside and we need to turn that off right now. I'm losing. Papa's losing his sleep right now. He did not think this through.
Nope. I have noticed that though. If you ever see Trump at a sporting event, apparently he's a Patriots fan, so a football game, Super Bowl, whatever, he every single time leaves early.
I wonder why.
Usually at the point where his team faces any slight amount of adversity.
Jesus.
He just throws it in and leaves. It's very funny.
I'm actually curious.
As someone who knows next to nothing about UFC MMA stuff of the current stuff, is the fights that are scheduled for that actually meaningful in any way?
There's only one name on here I'm slightly familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No. I'll admit this. I don't really follow individual fighters. I just like the thrill of the sport.
Sure, fair enough.
I'm a fucking LARPer. Alex Pereira is the only person I know on this because he's a heavyweight. I don't know. I don't fucking look at any of these guys and think this is gonna be a fun night. You notice how there's only 2 black dudes in this roster?
I'm not surprised.
The rest are white. There's also no women. No female UFC. That's a little weird. Apparently there was a leak that the military is trying to recruit spectators for the fights. They can't sell tickets.
It's always a great sign.
Yeah. What's going to happen to the stage after the event? Are they just going to let it hang there?
Who knows? Doesn't seem like they have a ton of options. So I'm trying to find a better article for this next source, for this next story. And I could have sworn there was one from 404 Media, but I'm not seeing it. So, oh well.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. I heard about this from other places as well, so it's whatever. But the U.S. Cybersecurity Agency had this is a CISA, left a bunch of private information publicly available on GitHub. So cybersecurity agency left all of their encryption and some of their passwords just sitting out in the open. It was found by researcher Guillaume Valadon, who does this as part of their job. And he just ran across it and reported it. And then nothing happened. So he reported it a couple of more times. And then eventually it got taken down. And at that point, he reported the whole thing to the media. But Holy shit. So, included in this was Amazon Web Service GovCloud administrative credentials, plain text passwords to internal CISA systems, access tokens to the agency's secure development environment. I heard as well that there were things saved, like backups of the work this person was doing that were literally just saved as backup.
Okay.
The whole GitHub page was literally just titled Private CISA, even though it was publicly accessible. It's all very, very dumb. Person's described it as the worst leak that they've witnessed in their career. And just, we're talking about like the Kennedy Center and the terrible quality of the people working for the government. This feels very in line with all of that. Few more to run through. Okay. Google had their 2026 keynote, and all of it sucks.
Yeah. No, actually, I like the ending because they shut the fuck up.
It seems like it's fascinating. The other story I have here is one from Microsoft, where Microsoft is continuing to do their, what do they call it? There's a word that I saw for it. The idea of Microsoft trying to make Windows 11 like actually good. Crazy idea. Make your product not suck. But Microsoft has figured that out, and they've been going through and like removing Copilot from shit like Paint, for example, giving you the options to uninstall the Copilot app and to disable it in the embedded parts of other applications, and all these things that are like very clear backpedaling from all the bullshit that they've been doing for 2 years. One of the other things was that one of the requirements today to have your laptop advertised as like a Windows 11 laptop is that you have to have a Copilot button on the keyboard. Yep. And they're getting rid of that. Just like total throwing in the towel. Nobody likes this. Nobody's using it. Costing them way too much money. They're jacking up the prices of the parts of it that people do have to pay for. All of that, good news. Thanks, Microsoft. You're doing the bare minimum finally.
You might earn your Microsoft name back, Microsoft.
Yeah. If they're ever going to do it, these are the steps that they need to take. At the same time, it's fascinating to see Google just sleepwalk into the same mistakes. As part of their keynote address, one of the big things is that they're going to be changing search to permanently embed its AI agents, calling it the intelligent search box. And in their examples, it basically looks like you just talk to an LLM instead of doing a Google search.
And what are they hoping to gain from this?
Good question. Users, probably. Metrics. Because metrics keep your lights on.
But like, doesn't Google get as much attention from being able to Google ChatGPT and like offer other services on top of that?
Yeah. So that's something that I've been trying to sort of like piece together, right? Because it's weird. Especially for Google, because at the same time, ChatGPT and Anthropic have both been raising the prices of their subscriptions and lowering what you actually get out of them, because nobody's making money doing this, and they're finally getting to the point where they have to try and make money, and it's not going well. Meanwhile, Google, because they're not an AI business, they're an ads business, has basically infinite money, it seems, so that they're able to lower their prices. How great's that? Best I can figure from like a business strategy kind of thing, right, is that some amount of these people are convinced that these AI tools and integrations are actually inevitable. Like 100%, it will happen. People will only interact with the internet through these things. And from that presumption, they then twist that into, we need to pivot our entire business to meet that future demand, or else we will go bankrupt when nobody wants to use our product in however much time that is.
Metaverse energy.
It is. Yeah. And then they just don't even like pause to look at the reality of the situation, where all of this stuff is overwhelmingly unpopular. Even if you look at the people who use it, right? Like kids in school who are using it to cheat on everything, they don't like it. No one's enjoying what they're doing with it.
No, it's always been a means to an end. Yeah.
Every single time I see somebody in a professional space talk about using it, regardless of whether that's technology or art or animation, every single time it's, even if they're like talking about it positively, there's the undertone of, but I wish it could do the thing that's actually taking up my time so that I could focus on the parts of my job that I like.
Yeah.
And it's just never doing that. It's just doing the things that are already, it's taking over the things that are fun to do and leaving you the crap to do just like before. And nobody's happy with it.
No. You know, there was a time I tried giving AI like an actual like use case for me, because I got like a little bit of mild dyslexia. So I thought, what if I could just take some stuff from work and like have it summarize it for me in like a more readable digest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't even do that. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Apparently Google is doing the whole smart glasses thing too.
Google Glass 2.0?
Intelligent eyewear. I don't think they have a name for it yet.
You know what Google should make?
What's
this
that?
Is my $1 million idea, right? The Google Bubble Blaster. It's just a gun. You put some soap in it, right? And it blows bubbles for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd probably do well.
It's the only way they'll make money off with a bubble that's popping.
But yeah, so everything kind of sucks, but you know,
everything does kind of suck. I am excited because, like, you know, I'm kind of the opinion that something else has got to happen, right? This is not how things are going to always be. So I think there's this excitement in me of like just wondering what comes next, because I'm sure things are only going to end bad at this point. So what's next? I'm very excited to see what's next.
There is certainly an element of like watching two trains run into each other.
Yeah.
Where it's horrific, but you do want to see what it looks like in the end.
Mm-hmm. The technology as we know it, as like commerce, is just too bloated at this point, too hyping its own shit. Something's got to come next. The market is kind of at its point.
Sure does seem like it.
But I mean, if they can make the bubble pop within the next 2 years or so, at least the government's guaranteed to give them a bailout.
I don't know. It's a weird spot for sure, because like with the way things are going, I don't see a bailout coming from a possible Democrat Congress, because that's where it'd have to come from.
Oh, Congress? Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I know it's been a long 2 years of Congress doing nothing, but they are supposed to have a job.
I think it's actually Congress's wet dream to have a president like Donnie, because nothing pisses Congress off more than having to do their damn job.
I don't know. It's weird. I kind of don't think so, only because historically, at least, these are the people who want the power.
Yeah.
And you have to be the kind of sicko who thinks you have power because the guy you talk to has power, rather than just actually having that power yourself. Like, you know, Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's that many Mike Johnsons left.
Don't get my hopes up. Don't you dare get my hopes up about that.
Well, would you like to talk some movies? Because we've got quite a few.
It was what I was born for.
Hell yeah. Burn through some of these smaller ones that popped up. There's a new movie called The Breadwinner, even though that was already a movie. But there's a new one, and it's not great apparently. 28% from critics, 87% from audiences.
Hell yeah.
Where's the actual so salesman Nate and wife Katie. To Nate and their 3 children, Katie is the ultimate mom, manages their comically chaotic household with equal parts efficiency and love, and everything runs perfectly. When Katie's household invention leads to a once-in-a-lifetime deal on Shark Tank and takes her on a prolonged business trip, Nate has to figure out how to keep the house from literally falling apart. He and his kids soon learn that while he may not do it like mom, he can figure out how to do it his way.
I'm sorry, you lost me at Shark Tank.
That the second promotional picture for this is a very obvious Walmart plug.
No.
So it's got that going for it. We also have The Last Viking, technically released in 2025, Danish film, but getting its theatrical release now. Stars Mads Mikkelsen. He gets around, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Anker is released from prison following a 15-year sentence for robbery. The money from the heist was buried by Anker's brother, Manfred. Only he knows where it is. Unfortunately, Manfred has since developed a mental illness, causing him to forget everything. Together, the brothers embark on an unexpected journey to locate the money and discover who they are.
Okay.
91% from critics. So they're doing something right. That's really the only thing that's notable about this, is that it's Mads Mikkelsen and it seems like it's pretty good, but it's in Danish, so you probably won't see it in theaters near you anytime soon. Something that's not in Danish, Pressure, stars Brendan Fraser, Andrew Scott, Chris Messina. In the tense 72 hours before D-Day, and with the fate of the free world hanging in the balance, Pressure follows Dwight D. Eisenhower and Captain James Stagg as they face an impossible choice: launch the largest and most dangerous seaborne invasion in history, or risk losing the war altogether.
Do we need another
Preacher.
World War II film?
I kind of respect it. It's, you know, well trod, but it's a classic scene to do a movie in. So
Hear me out, right?
Just real quick, Fraser plays Eisenhower, which is kind of notable. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you said Fraser plays Eisenhower?
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
the mummy guy.
Yeah.
He's Ike.
No, I'm scratching my my little stubble, the stubble on my face right now, because that seems like actually very good casting. You just like stopped everything I was about to say there.
Yeah.
I was going to make a shitposty joke about how they all live in the same cinematic universe, but all World War II movies. But no, that's inspired casting.
It's pretty good.
I'm on a Brendan Fraser kick lately.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely adore that man ever since I saw Rental Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really respect the World War II movies that are able to focus more on this is going to sound dumb, but the politics of what was going on. Not the politics, but the politicking, if that makes sense.
Like how decisions were reached?
Yeah, like how decisions are made. How is it being presented to the public? How are they reacting to what's happened before that?
Okay,
I guess part of that's probably because Saving Private Ryan does the war part of it so well that anything else just trying to do that is a bit, it's like, oh, it was good, but it wasn't Saving Private Ryan.
You're a smart person. I know I don't have to dumb this down for you. But like I do want to like address this. We have watered down and dumbed down World War II to good guys versus bad guys so much.
Yep.
I don't think people really understand the valor. Like, I think it was a very black and white war, don't get me wrong, but like where the US was and what the US was coming back from and like going into a war like that, I don't think people really appreciate the fucking risk we took and all that.
Absolutely. And that's the thing though, is that it today, it is obviously very black and white, but then it was not.
It was not. Because you were coming back from like the Great Depression, and then you're going to start telling people to start sugar rationing, meat rationing, so we can go to fucking war.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we don't appreciate the Greatest Generation enough for that shit.
I can definitely see that to a degree.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're perfect, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, what a fucking time to be alive.
Yeah. It was a pretty terrible time.
Yeah. And here we are 100 years later, going through our own very terrible times.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
Hoping
wait.
it doesn't get that bad again.
Yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Is my sincere hope that COVID-19 is our only allusion to a world war, our big world event in our lifetime. Ain't fucking happening, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It'd be nice. Wouldn't it be nice?
What's also nice is the number of really highly critically acclaimed movies that we have to go through. I'm kind of surprised. There's just like banger after banger. The Pressure there is an 85. This one we got here is a 92 called I Love Boosters. Professional shoplifters embark on a wild adventure as they target a cutthroat fashion mogul. I've not heard of this, but like it's killing it, seems like.
Nice. Okay.
Annapurna, Neon. It's good names behind it. Kiki Palmer is the only one of these folks who I know. But yeah, more power to him.
Yeah.
We also have Tuner. A gifted young piano tuner whose heightened sense of hearing draws the attention of criminals who see his talents as useful for opening safes as well as for tuning Steinways. With his promising musical career over, he works across New York with his mentor Harry Horowitz, encountering a range of characters, including composition student Ruthie, with whom he forges an unexpected connection. Nikki's safe-cracking work threatens his budding romance and pulls him into increasingly dangerous territory. Currently, 95% from critics, 94% from audiences.
Man, it reminds me of something, but I don't know what.
Sure does. It doesn't help that the lead, Leo Woodall, I'm assuming this picture is of, looks kind of like the actor in Baby Driver.
You're fucking with me.
Let me see if I can find some better pictures. I mean, yeah, it's obviously not one-to-one. Maybe this is just white guy face happening.
White face.
Like he obviously doesn't look as young, but like I could totally be convinced that this is like What If Baby Driver, but 10 years later.
He does look like he's Miles Teller. I think that's the name of the actor. If he had like
sounds right.
A rougher background. He looks like Miles Teller if he was fucking listening to My Chemical Romance.
Ansel Elgort.
Ansel Elgort, that's it. Fucking
yes.
hell.
But yeah, for perspective, here's a more recent picture of Ansel Elgort as well. This is, I think, a better example of like these guys are pretty close.
They're looks maxing. Look at those chins. They take a hammer to that shit.
Yeah. Final two. Backrooms, 89% from critics, 74 from audiences. A strange doorway appears in the basement of a furniture showroom. I mean, it's the background. Do we need to spend that much on the backrooms? It's a movie based on the game The Backrooms,
which is based off a 4chan fucking post.
Yeah, it's fine. A24 did it, of course, because who the hell else would do this?
Okay,
they got right? Too all edgy for somehow.
I'm happy that this is made. Don't get me wrong. I think it's very cool. As someone who spent too much time on the internet, it's always cool to see like something like this pop up.
Yeah.
I think I'm just getting a little apathetic to A24 in general.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have a bit of a shotgun approach. They do a lot, and not all of it hits. More of it hits than doesn't, though. I can't remember the last time they had I can't actually remember the last time they had a proper flop.
Okay, so
because they have plenty that come out and have average reception, right? They have had one or two that were just bad. So, yeah.
I don't think they're bad by any means. I just wish I could gel better with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a style.
Yeah, I wish I was the target demographic for them because I can appreciate them. I think they're probably the best studio in indie right now. Are they considered an indie still?
I believe so. I mean, they're a production company, so no, sort of by definition, right?
Yeah.
Anything that they are giving money to is not, in my mind at least, not quite going to be independent at that point. Mm-hmm. They do distribution, TV production, movie production. So no, but they're the kind of indie video game studio equivalent. They're very AA.
I was actually about to say, because I look at A24 the same way I look at fucking Undertale or Deltarune.
Exactly.
I respect them. They're not for... I am not a good fit for them. I think they hit at times. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But I'm just a square peg in their circle. Circle hole.
Yeah, I mean, they're undeniably making movies well.
Yeah.
And they're making movies that somebody likes. So, maybe that's all they need to do.
Yeah. I do not wish any harm upon them. I wish them 1,000 years of prosper.
Me too. I hope they get to keep doing it. I hope that there is a space in the sort of prestige film industry for some of these smaller players to find success. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. And if you work at A24...
Speaking of smaller players finding success, Star Wars.
I was actually about to make that comparison. Star Wars was an indie darling. And look what it became.
It was. Yeah. So, Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. I'm kind of two minds. It's 62% from critics, 88% from audiences. Empire has fallen. Imperial warlords remain scattered through the galaxy as fledgling New Republic works to protect everything the rebellion fought for. They have enlisted the help of legendary Mandalorian bounty hunter Din Djarin and his young apprentice Grogu. So, I'm of two minds of this, right? Where from everything that I've heard of people who saw this, I think a 62% is very reasonable, but people are enjoying the time that they're spending with this, right? Fair enough. They made a movie that people liked. But on the other hand, I can't help but just kind of sigh exasperatedly that this is what we're doing.
If you came up to me 10 years ago and said Mandalorian and Grogu at me, I would assume you're saying a slur of some kind before I would think you're talking about Star Wars.
Hey, Grogu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Grogu, what the fuck are you showing up at a Mandalorian spot about? I only care about one person's... Yeah. Pedro Pascal is great. I only care about one person's opinion about this whole movie.
What's that?
George fucking Lucas. What's his opinion on this movie?
I haven't actually seen a ton from him since he sold it all.
Yeah. You know, fuck you.
I'm
If
sure
I
that's
was
on purpose.
Yeah, if I was George Lucas in this exact fucking situation, y'all wouldn't hear from me ever again.
Because he got like $1 billion or something stupid, didn't he?
He got something like he could buy his own island.
So here we go. Screen rant from January 3rd. What George Lucas really thinks of The Mandalorian. So this is probably the TV show.
Yeah.
It was very complimentary for. I think this is from Dave Filoni. I think he enjoyed the show and said that once that now he gets to watch it as a fan and watch it as a viewer.
He's so fucking real for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
George Lucas is someone I've kind of like come around. He has risen to such incredible heights and at such incredible lows. But like that just tells me he's just a real one, you know? You can't tell me George Lucas, in all of his flaws, is a shill for everything he's done.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, he's a shill for his own work, but like, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do that to a degree. Yeah. So, Star Wars, Mandalorian Grogu, 82% from critics. Sorry, 62% from critics, 88% from audiences. It seems like, what was the budget for this? I should have looked that up. It's made some 200 million worldwide. What did they spend on this? What was the budget? Are they anywhere nearby? I feel like they can't be. Like, Star Wars movies always have ridiculous budgets. Maybe Wikipedia says 165 million. That feels low, but maybe those and CGI investments that they made so long ago with their what the hell is it called? Their big like half sphere thing that they can use instead of CG. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. What is it called again?
What's that called?
It's cool, whatever it is.
No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, cool. Apparently it's called Stagecraft now.
Okay.
I think it was called The Volume. That's what it is. It was made by Industrial Light and Magic. It's cool. And it's been used to great success. So, you know what? Fair enough.
Wait a fucking second. I'm kind of going through George Lucas's filmography because I'm really curious what this fucker's done.
Mm-hmm.
George Lucas had a hand in making a fucking Mishima biography film. Like, it looks like it's a Lucas Ranch production where he helped produce. But he worked on this thing with fucking Francis Ford Coppola and Philip Glass. Which, this is like the nerdiest shit I could possibly say, but I fucking love the concept of this movie alone. I can't believe I haven't heard of this. And the Grand Rapids, the fucking director of the movie's from Grand Rapids. Let's fucking go.
Is it A Life in 4 Chapters?
Yeah. Do you know about Yukio Mishima?
I do not.
So, dude is a brilliant writer. I'll give you that. Give him that, right? He was this very. I'm going to a very specific interpretation because we don't know this man as well as we probably should, but he was this very closeted homosexual man who turned to a life of hypermasculinity after dealing with his childhood of just kind of like being a frail boy. He became so involved and wrapped up in like the masculinity. He developed kind of fascist qualities. So much so, he became an ultranationalist for Japan and tried doing a coup on the government and failed miserably. So much so that he took his life on air, like a Japanese radio station, for the military coup he tried performing.
Wild.
I have one of his books. He's a very good writer.
It is very fascinating to see that Lucas has basically done nothing.
Isn't it?
Like, he did, I don't know, this is Strange Magic. He was partial. He did the story. He wrote the story for it, and that's it. Prior to that, you have to go back to the Indiana Jones and the Crystal of the Crystal Skull for something that he didn't just executive produce. So yeah, credit to him. Dude's retired.
Yeah, I'm sure he's enjoying the hell out of it.
I mean, doesn't he have, like, was it Skywalker Ranch? That's his, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
pretty sure this is.
Doesn't suck.
Let's see here. Skywalker Ranch. How's it doing nowadays? 4,700 acre film production center.
Insane.
That's fuck you money.
Apparently, Lucas gave somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million to the Obama Presidential Center.
That doesn't surprise me.
No.
Although, look at George Lucas and tell me he doesn't strike you as a centralist.
A centrist? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, though, because, like, okay, I think if you knew nothing about him, yes.
If you were unfamiliar with his work, you would think that. Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, dude started his from the running with the Vietnam analog.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think his politics are super subtle. Very cool.
I love that scene in fucking Return of the Jedi when Luke looks at the camera and says trans rights.
Well, I think that's gonna about do it.
Okay then. Well, I'm fucking Neef Miss Orion, and I've been a schmo.
And I'm Kyril, and I've also been a schmo.
And this has been the Two Schmoes Show.